there's people on the internet who don't like us. Do you consider them enemies?
Yes.
You do?
No, I'm just kidding.
What's up, you guys? And welcome back to school. But don't worry, everything is cool. I'm your host, Julyssa. And of course, I am here with the boys, Brandon and Patrick. Say what's up, you guys.
What's up?
How y'all doing today?
Doing all right, just got left behind. Well, we all got left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro, the rapture happened.
Yeah.
Rapture did happen. When was the official date?
Yes.
Yesterday.
Today?
Yeah, 2
I
days
thought it was
ago.
Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. It
Yeah.
was,
The
it was Tuesday.
23rd?
Yeah, it was the 23rd.
Yeah.
The 23rd,
It
yeah.
was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bro, Steve got taken.
Yeah, somehow
That's
Steve
why-
got taken,
That's-
bro.
that's why
I'm here
they
doing his
raptured
job.
Bro, that's why he's not here today.
Why were they saying the rapture was going to happen then? Was there what happened? What gave them the clue?
The only thing, I don't know. The only thing is I saw somebody, like a pastor or something, say that it was that he, I guess, read something and it was going to happen that date, which was Tuesday. Or
yeah.
whatever.
Was there an eclipse recently?
I don't know. I generally don't know. I honestly just started seeing it out of nowhere that people were talking about a rapture happening. And I was like, what? There was this one girl who always does informative stuff that happens. And at one point she's giving her information or whatever. And then all of a sudden she's floating. But people in the comments were like, I thought the feds were here for you.
Let's see. I Googled why they're saying that. This is what Google says.
Mm-hmm.
People said the rapture was happening on September 23rd or 24th because a South African man named Joshua Malakala, I don't know how to pronounce that, posted a video in June claiming Jesus told him in a dream that the event would occur on these dates. And then that went viral on TikTok, and I guess a bunch of people believe that.
He saw it in a dream.
Yeah, that Jesus told him in a dream.
Damn.
What? I thought I remember. I don't remember exactly the lesson,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember them reading a Bible verse saying that Jesus would return when you least expect it, like a thief in the night.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever people would say "Oh, I'm predicting when the rapture is happening," I'm like, but the Bible says, you can't predict it.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, right?
Yeah, I saw another TikTok of this girl explaining it too, and she's like, "We're not supposed to know when it happens.
Yeah.
It kind of just happens.
Yeah.
Nobody sees it in a vision. Nobody
Yeah.
has read something and they're like, oh, I discovered it. You don't know when it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
according to the Bible.
Almost like 2012, but everything just goes south, right? Earthquakes everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember what's supposed to happen. Well, I don't know.
The
I don't know.
horns,
I
the
don't know.
horns.
I don't know if the Bible explicitly says that people float up. I don't think I don't know if that's what it says, but I just remember in the prayers, Jesus returns to judge the living and the dead.
Mm.
So everybody gets judged. I always thought it would be in middle school when we went to Catholic school. I thought it was I don't know, a line, and he
Oh, he told him go
swipe
that way,
left,
go that
swipe
way.
right.
I think that's the heaven line where you're like, nah, you
yeah.
gotta.
But
Didn't
I
you-
kind of thought that the rapture thing became popular because of the movie. This is the end, the Seth Rogen movie,
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
where the people float up. Yeah,
And that's where people got it from?
maybe, I don't know. I don't remember learning about it in school. Did we?
I don't remember. Learning.
If we
about
did,
it
I
either.
don't remember them saying we'd float up. I don't remember that. Or that people get left behind. Actually, maybe I'm wrong about that.
Is that a Christian thing?
No,
I don't know.
I think the left behind part might be true because I think they say that Jesus fights the Antichrist. But I remember, I think I was watching a video with Steve about how the whole process is supposed to take fucking 2 decades or something like that.
Damn.
The Antichrist shows up as a figure, and at first he seems like a good guy, and then he turns out to be. That's why people were saying. That's why people would say that Hitler was the Antichrist because he fit that general description of at first he shows up and he's a silver-tongued devil and he does good things, quote unquote, but then he turns evil and destroys the world or something like that. But I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also feel like the whole ascending or something or somebody coming
kinda
back
funny.
is from movies. Cause was it the Knowing where the angels or which
Knowing?
it's like they take all the kids basically.
Oh, that alien movie one?
It's like they're angels but they look scary. I forget what they're called. I don't know. Is that the Knowing? I don't remember.
The Nicolas
The day the
Cage?
Earth stood still. I don't know.
Where they take the kid, the happening?
Is it that?
The Knowing.
It might
I
be
think
that.
it might be with. Is it the one with Nicolas Cage?
Nicholas Cage in it? And the angels are scary? Like they look like demons?
They look like they're just like
They're like
grown.
lights.
They're just like grown men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Is it the Knowing? I think it is the Knowing because the Knowing is like they discover when the end of the thing is. No. I don't know. I think it is the glowing things.
Oh, yeah, the Nicolas Cage one.
Angels look scary to ward off demons, bro. Angels look beautiful to deceive humans.
But I think that's the one where they take, I guess, all the kids and then they take them to a whole other world, but they all like fly off.
Oh, it's supposed to be like the rapture?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cause then yeah, the world like explodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cause the scene is like them all hugging and then
And
there's an
floating and then
explosion.
in the back.
Really?
Yeah.
When did this come out? Like early 2000s?
This is like early 2000s. Sounds like an early 2000s.
Well, cause I've heard that the whole talk about the rapture has happened a lot before.
No, yeah. I think they always do that. The rapture.
This came out in 2009, I think.
Is this
Ah,
the
that
Rapture
makes
supposed to be
sense.
like the Armageddon?
I mean, I don't remember. Like, I think it's part of the process of when Jesus returns.
It's
Like-
Judgment Day.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be that the good are spared and then the evil are left on earth because earth becomes hell or something like that.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Earth
Because
becomes hell.
then the Antichrist shows up and he's like,
Y'all are my. He tortures people.
that's interesting. Early 2000s, a lot of religious movies in the early 2000s. Signs is like that.
Signs?
Do you ever watch Signs?
No,
You never see Signs?
I don't think.
The one with Joaquin Phoenix and Mel Gibson?
Mm-mm.
No, the alien movie.
Signs.
Signs. You guys have seen. It's that one where they.
Let's see. I'm gonna look it up.
There's like that famous scene where there's like an alien in Mexico, and
Mexico?
they see it. Yeah.
Oh, that famous, I was like-
It's behind. Algo está ahí. And
Oh, that's the one that they make scary movie about, right?
Yeah,
Where he
yeah.
pees from his finger.
Yeah. No, but that movie, the aliens are demons. You never seen that? Where it's like they're
No.
supposed to be demons.
I haven't seen this movie in years, but I do remember the one of the alien in Mexico, because I feel like people would reuse that one and be like, oh no, there's like
Mira qué
real,
pasó aquí
yeah,
en el
like
nuestro
there's
pueblo.
yeah, there's like real aliens and stuff like that. But
No, yeah, there's
Yeah.
supposed to be demons in that movie. So I think it's like a common theme.
yeah, there is The Happening.
What happens in The Happening?
Let's see.
Is that the one? Is that the one with Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when the plants turn evil.
Huh?
You don't remember? You
The
never seen
Were
it?
What?
these like the same, like couple years apart, or during the same?
This was in 2008, so a year apart from The Knowing. Oh,
Before
from
2012?
Signs.
Science came out in like 2001, 2002.
Signs.
Cause
Yeah, Signs came out in 2002.
Because I remember seeing like I think I have it on DVD and they had an extra about how they were shooting when 9/11 happened and that they were like, oh my god.
Who Signs?
Yeah, like
Oh.
well, because it's like a religious movie, I think, because the main character is like a priest. Mel Gibson is the priest. Which is
of course.
yeah. Did you guys hear they're making Passion of the Christ too?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's the second part?
When he's like in hell and he comes back to life. You didn't know that?
No.
They're making this Passion of the Christ
No?
too. He's been wanting to do it for like years. They like announced it like a few months ago.
The first one kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies.
The first one scared you?
Yeah.
I remember it scared me because everybody would be like, my mom cried during it. And I'd be like, really?
Oh my God.
Scary like that?
It wasn't even scary, just passionate.
I mean, it's like disturbing, I'd say. It's kind of like, it's
Oh,
all
this-
a
okay.
bunch of gore.
My mom also cried.
Oh, watching Passion of the Christ? Yeah.
But I think it's just like I think just like the part where they're always just hitting him is
Oh.
just very like not gory, but I think it's just like
Triggering.
I don't know. I think there's just something of like they have like this sort of like empathy of like
Oh.
there was a man who kind of was getting like horribly treated,
Oh, and that's supposed.
and I think that's what gets to them.
And that's Jesus. So
Cause like look at him.
you seen Passion of the Christ though?
Yeah,
When
The
I was
part that
young.
scared me was the baby.
the baby.
You remember when the devil's it's like this Satan is watching Jesus get whipped and he's holding the baby, and the baby turns around. It's like a grown person. It's like evil. We were like, it's the Antichrist.
No,
You never see that part scared the shit out of
I've
me.
only like it's been a minute since I've seen it, so I
Yeah, I
can't
haven't
recall.
seen it in a while either.
Yeah, but wait, why?
But
was
yeah,
I
look,
talking
look
about
at
that?
him.
Okay, you said they're making a second one, like
Oh yeah, they're making Passion of the Christ too.
so it's gonna be like an action one, like him just trying to make
An
out.
action.
No,
one?
because it ends with him just dying, right?
No, they show his hand like when he
When he
rose after 3 days or whatever it
that's
was.
the ending of the movie.
Yeah, and I think they show
I think-
they show him, but they only show like his hand,
hands.
and it's like he has a hole in his hand.
No, they said I think he said the sequel is about the 3 days when
Of
he's
what
gone.
happened?
Yeah. And then when he like resurrects, I think.
Because I think that's how the movie ends, unless I'm thinking about a whole different movie. But
I don't remember how it ends,
I don't remember.
honestly. I mean, I was like, I know how it ends, but like, I can assume he comes back, but I don't understand. Wait, it's in his hands? I thought we learned in school.
It was on his
It's on his
wrists?
wrists where they nailed him.
let me see. Let me look at these
Ugh.
pictures.
See, bro? You're making fun of that?
I'm not making fun of it.
They
He
get
died
it
for your
wrong.
sins. You
He
sick
did die
bastard.
for our sins.
He died for your sins, you sick bastard. It's not funny.
I think in the movie they do his hands.
Oh, they do?
I can't find the thing.
I feel like
Yeah.
they always do his hands.
Bro, it's so like gory that some on
They can't
Google
show it?
it can't show it.
You know what I find interesting? I haven't looked it up because I don't know. I just haven't had the time. But do you remember, like, as a kid seeing, or I mean, I think they told us in school where they would talk about how like there was people who had a disease where they bleed from their hands and feet. Do you remember
I
that?
don't remember hearing that.
I remember in Catholic school they told us that there's like this disease where like some priests supposedly get it, where they bleed from their hands and like their head or whatever. And I remember being like, dead ass, like really that happens? And now like thinking about it now, I'm like, that probably doesn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
Cause I remember they would also talk about like statues like the Virgin Mary where they'd be
it
like,
would
oh, she's
cry.
crying.
Yeah, yeah.
You seen that one where they debunked it because it was like a sewer line that was just dripping on her head.
Bruh.
So people would like drink it and it was like shit water.
Oh.
They'd be like, it's healing me, and it was like shit
Or like the
water.
bleeding ones, right?
Yeah,
The
you
bleeding
never seen that
tears.
one where it's like she
I've seen yeah.
I remember at school they'd be like, and they tested the blood of the DNA and it was like no match or some shit like that. But I haven't looked it up.
Because
Is
it was
that-
shit water.
No, for when she bleeds. I haven't looked it up because I'm sure it's probably not true, right?
Yeah. Well,
But-
wouldn't it be the same thing that they're just like
I'm just like, where's the fucking blood coming from? Someone probably paints it on, huh?
probably?
Yeah.
I feel like I saw statues like that, but I always thought they were just painted on.
The like blood
Like
stuff.
the blood, yeah, the blood stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, why is it so gory? Like, I don't know,
What?
because even the one at our like
Oh,
school
the
church,
The Jesus.
and they had the Jesus,
Yeah.
and then, like I literally thought his eyes look like they're rolled back. Like,
Are they?
no,
Like, he's
they're
all
not. No,
Yeah, that's
No,
crazy.
usually,
But-
like
but they have like the blood kind of like dripping. Like, at least it's painted like it's like falling. I remember when they would it always felt like we weren't allowed to be in that area, but sometimes when we would like practice for stuff, we would be in like where the area where like the priest would be. And sometimes I'd be like, I feel weird being over here
Oh, because of the.
because of the cross. And
the
stuff like
art
that.
and stuff. Usually,
Yeah.
that art kind of gives me like the heebie-jeebies.
I think only Catholics are allowed to. I don't know allowed, but I think Catholics are the ones that actually show Jesus on the cross. I don't think Christians do. They just have the cross.
Yeah. Or I don't
Wasn't
know.
it that they don't? I was gonna be like, they don't believe in Jesus, right?
They
Because
don't
they don't
have
believe
sa-
in the
they don't-
Virgin
They
Mary.
don't
believe
have
in
saints.
saints, yeah.
They don't have saints. I think they do believe in. I mean, Christian
They
Christ.
criticize
Yeah.
us for believing in saints.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. because there's like false idols and stuff.
I think with I don't know. I don't remember why, but I remember in school they said that they don't show Jesus on the cross. I don't know if it's because it's like, I don't know why, but I guess I could look that up. Why don't Christians?
I don't know.
No, but I recently went to the Getty with my girlfriend, and there's like a whole, I think, the coming of Catholicism, and it's like a whole section, and like you know how people say you can feel like art in the room and stuff. Like it the whole exhibit kind of gave me like a gloomy, like heavy, like damn, because like back then, like all the Catholicism and like not they didn't do rituals, but like all the stuff they did for like Jesus having like a pin on the cross and everything. It was kind of like spooky. But I'm kind of into that art for some reason.
The like gothic
Style,
Yeah.
like you can feel it. It feels heavy, and like there be times where I take edibles, I'd be like tweaking. Like I'm like, why is it like the world like it feels so heavy?
So I looked it up. Christians, they say they emphasize the resurrection and victory over death. So like showing him dead kind of goes against their principle, because they're like, we like seeing him like resurrected
When he was alive.
Yeah, but kind of like what you said about like the creepy stuff. You know that what it makes me think of is, do you remember when that cathedral burned down
In
Friends?
France,
Uh-huh.
and they raised like
the Notre Dame.
and they raised like fucking an insane amount of money in
Yeah.
like 2 hours.
Yeah.
That always pisses me off, kind of.
Because they rather rebuild the.
Well, because I'm like, if if Jesus was real, I'm sure he'd be like, fuck the church. Why don't you use that money and give it to
The hungry.
the hungry? Because that's like a story that we read about. Do you remember
He's
when?
in
Yeah.
hostels now? Like,
Do you remember when we? Oh, you weren't there. But do you remember when I remember we would read, or they talk about that time that Jesus goes into a temple and they're like selling stuff, and he gets pissed off and like breaks everything and shit.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, wouldn't he be like, yeah, fuck this, man? Why don't they? Because it reminds me of when you know who Joel Osteen is?
No.
You don't know who Joel Osteen is? He's that like preacher. He's like one of those like, I think he's Christian, where he has like a giant church. He's on TV where he'll be like, if you pray, da 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 da.
Oh, the demon guy? Oh, no, never mind.
No, he's not the demon guy. You're thinking about the old guy who's
Yeah,
like,
that demon fucking.
I remember they criticized him during Katrina, or Hurricane Katrina, or one of the hurricanes, because he has like a giant church, and they asked him like, oh, will you open it up to like to people for who are displaced because of the hurricane?
like,
and
yeah.
he said no. He was like, fuck no. He didn't want isn't that fucked up?
That is fucked up.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the one thing that annoys me of people who heavily are like, I guess, religious. To the people who say that they follow, I guess, the Bible and all these things, but when it comes like to a time when it's actually needed, like their empathy and like their hospitality, they don't follow the word of God. Like, and I think that's the part where it gets annoying, where it's like you preach like this whole entire thing of being a good person, of who God was and all this, but yet when it is your moment to finally be that person, you don't do it.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing that like gets to me, which like kind of taints religion.
That's
me.
why they're
For
still
me.
here. That's why they're still here after the rapture.
After the rapture.
Yeah. Steve didn't have that opinion. He would smack us.
We knew he was secretly following behind us.
Yeah.
Stevie was praying, following the
what
word
was
of
I gonna
God.
say? Oh, yeah. Like I get what you mean. But I guess like on that note too, like I think it's really weird how religious the government officials are.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I remember did they ever do that before? Like maybe when I was younger I didn't pay attention enough, or like because I was in Catholic school it didn't seem strange.
Yeah.
But like when I'm not like trying to like be like, oh, Obama was a cool guy or whatever. But did he ever do that? Was he ever like
he talked shit to like the other.
No. Did he ever like proudly like
Say he was Catholic.
like Christian or whatever he practiced? Did he ever do that? No, right?
I don't remember. I feel like he would say like, "Thank God for."
Yeah, but like obviously I feel like that's more like an expression than it is
Yeah.
but like the way they do it now, where they're like as a Christian or Jesus or da 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 da, Isn't that
No,
weird?
yeah, I feel like it's definitely getting pushed nowadays.
Well, because I think it's weird because I'm like, if it was any other religion that was
Mhm.
practiced by majority brown people or a ethnic group that wasn't majority white, it would be go crazy. Like I feel like if a politician who was practiced or was a Muslim did that, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I find it kind of weird. Because when they did that memorial service for Charlie Kirk and they're all talking about like Jesus Christ and all that stuff, I was like, it's a little crazy, right? Because it's like a nationally televised thing. No?
Yeah. Not only that, it's like it was like a whole worship. Like it felt like those Sunday churches, like the big ones, where they're like just all singing together and everything.
I just think it's weird because like I think Christian nationalism like genuinely scares me, like that kind of stuff. Did you guys ever read Handmaid's Tale?
No.
Did you ever watch it? It's like that. It's basically that. Or it's like a post-apocalyptic thing about Christian nationalism, about how it became this huge thing, which I don't know. I feel like that kind of stuff scares me a little
It
bit.
does, especially the speeches freaking Stephen Miller and what's his name, the VP were giving out. It was
What they
very
say?
like pro, like we will not give in. We will not be on our knees. We will die on this land.
Well,
and
I
stuff.
guess because I was watching this video talking about how like, well, obviously I think there's a lot of surface level problems that I think are pretty self-explanatory,
Yeah.
like why you can't, because it's supposed to be separation of church and state. There's a lot of different religions that people practice that you should respect, but people were talking about how it's dangerous to like, as a government, for them to not only use religion but frame certain things as like good and evil, because then that becomes like Christian nationalism or like a huge propaganda machine. That I remember people were saying that, I don't know his name, but I think it's someone you said, where they compared him to one of Hitler's.
Oh yeah, Stephen Miller.
Yeah, where they compared him to Hitler's like main propagandist,
Yeah.
where his speech like they mirror each other.
Yeah.
Well, because I guess with the Nazis and Hitler, they would do that. It would be like talk about forces of good and evil and da 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 da. So that scares me.
I wouldn't be
actually.
surprised if he studied him
Yeah.
at all, because he is a far right like
Really? You think so?
person. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. I think like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised considering all the, I think it's intentional. Like all the stuff that they do, whether it's that guy who went on I don't know, he's Fox News, where he was like, "What's up, my Nazi?" or Elon
Yeah.
Musk
Oh yeah,
doing,
definitely.
or Elon Musk doing the Nazi salute.
Yeah.
I think it's all calculated because
Yeah.
I'm like, they're trying to get you to be more comfortable with the idea of Nazis or
Yeah.
fascism. You know what I mean? So that scares me, like actually.
Yeah. I just think it's insane how, I don't know. I think especially that time in history was very horrible. And I think the fact that it's kind of like being seen as this thing of like, or they're trying, how you said it, they're trying to use it as this thing as like, it wasn't that bad. Like, and it's just like, bruh, it was that bad. Like,
Yeah.
it was horrific. Like, and I don't know. I just feel like people not seeing that either is what is also scary, of people being not taking it as, I guess, serious, of like, they're literally doing this so they can eventually lead to something.
Well, I think it's what's also like equally scary about it for me is I remember I brought it. I think I brought it up on the podcast. I'm pretty sure that this is the same thing where at the museum, the Geneatry, and it's right next to the zoo. They have like this small like this part of this exhibit where they talk about like the stages of genocide and how certain things lead up. And so I bring that up because I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember in like 2016, I was like 15, and people talking about this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
where like the things Trump would say or like the people around him would say, and they would say, you know, these are like the first steps that lead to that kind of thing. I think it's crazy almost 10 years later how accurate that all was.
Yeah.
Because I think at the time, I mean, you're a kid, you don't really understand the gravity of things.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't seem that serious, or it doesn't seem that like you're like, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
But then like seeing how like, oh shit, like no, it completely went exactly that way is trippy to observe in real time. Because everybody talks about that all the time. We talk about it all the time. Like how you said, it seems so long ago. Like the 40s and fascism and all that stuff. And everybody's always like, how did they let this happen? Or how did that people let that go through? It's scary to watch it happen, you know, and be like, no shit, this is exactly how it happens. Right?
Yeah. Well, because it was even when the recent election, when everybody kept talking about Project 2025, and everybody was like, no, it's not real. It's not going to happen. And then there was people who were like, no, like, he's generally going to do this. And people being like, no, like, the government would never let him. And because of the different, you know, branches.
Checks and power balances.
Yeah, checks and balances. And now we're in it. People are saying we're like almost halfway through to what his plan was.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that true? Have you seen that? Where they say that it's like 40% done? Like Project 2025?
I haven't read like the whole thing of Project 25, but I've heard like it's being checked off. Like
I saw a graph where they say, I think 40% of it has already gone through. I don't know for certain.
Because mostly it's like all long term because they have to pass all the bills, and usually bills that go through the House and stuff takes a good like minute for it to actually like come through and work in the country. Like the big beautiful bill, like that one was just signed, but it's gonna impact us on the long run.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised if it is 40%. Like, oh, we just need to pass it. But on the long term, it's all gonna happen.
I know it hasn't even been a full year since he's been in office either. That's crazy what people let him do. Yeah, I saw that. I saw someone bring up that, I think it's an MLK quote where it's like, I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like, you'll be shocked by all the evil people who let this happen, but also the silence of all the good people who let this happen. So I was like, yeah, real based, man. Like
that literally is a thought that I always have, especially with everybody who is supporting him right now and people who don't take like anything serious of like what's happening, like especially with like everything that's happening with ICE, everything that's happening with like Palestine, and people who are still like, I guess, kind of buddy with Trump. And I think that's insane. Because I don't know, I just feel like how you said, like it feels like it's going into like this very like, I don't know, like negative space of, you know, something is kind of building up into being dangerous for certain people. And I think that people are so in support of him and like kind of being near those people that are in support of him. Specifically, I'm talking about like work, like with the Dodgers, of them visiting Trump, and then some of them actually being Trump supporters, and then seeing the different policies that Trump is still doing and attacking our community, and even them not being outspoken about like all the ICE stuff that's happening, and them kind of being tied to like ICE. Is insane. And I just think it's a crazy like thing to think about, of like how people always say like, why did nobody stop it? And it's literally like people aren't doing anything, especially those who have power of like their voices being heard, people who have millions of followers, and nothing is being said from them.
It also just mind blows me how that shit like actually works. Yeah. Like because I think a lot of the, I don't think it's fair, but a lot of the pushback that people tend to receive is it's not that deep. You're being like a party pooper, or I don't know. You're like moral. You're sensitive. You're sensitive. You're, what's that thing people say? You're like not moral grandstanding, but you're virtue signaling. But I think it's strange how that stuff actually works. Like, I don't know if you ever went through this, but because I guess when Trump first was rolling around, like 2015, 2016, there was a lot of like alt-right pipeline stuff targeted towards young boys. Yeah. That I remember like seeing, and like, again, you don't fully grasp it. Yeah. I think as an adult, I'm like, oh shit, that's totally a pipeline. Yeah. And I see how, had I continued to engage with that content, or had I, it probably would have sent me down the all right pipeline. Yeah. And I think for me, that's why when stuff like this happens, I'm like, no, I think it is that serious, because I remember engaging or seeing those type of videos, and people would tell me, like, whether it was friends or family or whoever that cared about me, would be like, yo, that's like all right pipeline stuff. And I would be like, really? Like, I don't see how. Like, it's
Yeah.
just people making jokes or it's this and that. But now in retrospect, oh yeah, 100%. Like, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I remember. I think it was like not the peak, but that was just when those type of videos, like the college debate, started popping up. Like
or
Charlie
like
Kirk
or
and,
like those memes. I don't know. I don't know. You probably didn't see it because when I was 15, how would that make you?
How
How old are you now?
28.
I'm 24.
It's over 4. So
You'd be 20, no?
Yeah, 19, 20.
Oh, so you're probably way more. Yeah, so
Yeah, they called you old.
I was in college already.
no, but like
yeah.
she had a brain.
Yeah.
I was like I was a fucking stupid little kid.
You're more
but-
susceptible.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do you remember seeing those like videos where it'd be like feminist gets owned?
Yeah, yeah.
Or like
Mm.
I would get a lot of those on
or
YouTube.
like Ben Shapiro owns stupid feminist or
Mhm.
even if it wasn't like a video, it would be like a meme
Yeah.
where it would be like I remember seeing one where it would be I don't remember her name, but it was at least when I first heard about there being a spectrum of gender, where then they would put the fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the pure imagination thing, and it would just be a meme.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that like on Instagram or videos like that on YouTube, and I think as a kid you see it as this like innocuous, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is stupid
Yeah.
shit. But now as a 24-year-old, I'm like, oh shit, that the people who told me that that's like an alt-right pipeline,
Yeah.
thank
It
fucking
w-
God.
yeah.
Cause like that 100% is one.
Yeah.
You know?
You're very lucky you had people like that. Me, I just had to go to college. I had to learn it.
Yeah.
Like freaking criminal justice, it teaches you everything. Like everything's like unfair. It's meant to go against like minority groups. And I'm like, wait, I'm a minority. So
Yeah.
what does this mean from like the people who don't experience that? Like they have a whole different mindset. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
affect me. It shouldn't like bug me at all. But me, I'm like, I've been through this, checked like almost not every, but like I've experienced some type of racism, some type of stereotype. It's bugged me. So like I've kind of had to pull myself out. Like not a lot of people experience this type of stuff. Like we should not just like let it be. We should actually tell the people. And unfortunately, I didn't have that type of help. But like with higher education, it does help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But I think that's like an important point you make though is you see influencers or people now who will talk down
Yeah.
or even in government who talk down on higher education, like don't go to college, or college is also extremely expensive now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen for people, you know, where I feel like it's important, you know, because I genuinely do think a lot of people, like you said, go through that where, I don't know, you're just a dumb kid and you don't really understand like the gravity of certain things, or
Yeah.
you've been lucky and you've lived a very privileged life, and so these issues that normally would affect someone like you haven't.
Yeah.
But then either you meet people where it does affect them, or you go and you learn about how it does affect you,
Yeah.
and it breaks that. But I think it's crazy that for a lot of people that doesn't happen. And that's why it scares me. It mind blows me. It's kind of like a crazy thing, because I think as I got older, I was like, damn, so everything really is that deep. Because I remember it so vividly, seeing those comments on those videos. They're mostly like, now they'd be very alarming.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh shit, like, you know. But every now and again, you would see somebody be like, yo, this is really fucked up, or this is offensive, or what, like, this isn't this, that. And of course, this was like 2015, so probably peak
Racism.
peak edgelord stuff.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, really? Like, I don't know. I was just like, you swear? Like, that's what that is?
I guess because it was more being fed to men.
Yeah.
But I literally didn't see any of these things. Like, I didn't know who Ben Shapiro was. Like, Trump, I barely knew who he was when the election was happening. And I just remember after that hearing how, like, he's a funny guy. He's a clown. Like, I mostly specifically heard it from guys saying that, but I never, like, took it serious.
Yeah.
Where I think, because for a while I was never really involved in knowing about politics at all.
Yeah.
And that's like my own thing. I just didn't grow up really caring about
Right.
politics as much. But eventually, yeah, I think through college I started learning a lot more. And I think for sure, what I realized through college as well is that they teach you a lot of things that you don't always get in like middle school or high school. Like middle school and high school, you get like the basics, right, of history, of U.S. history, world history. But in college, they show you like different types of history.
Right.
And I think especially for me, like going to San Francisco is even more different because they have like the ethnic studies.
Yeah.
So they show you even more past like different cultures.
Yeah.
But I never saw any of those things at all.
That makes sense.
And I think when the election happened, I think I had just either got into college or maybe I had just started my second year. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I did not know any of those things at all.
Dude, there were I mean, maybe I don't know. For me, it like my experience, I remember thinking that just was the internet. Like, you know? Like I remember seeing like so much of it.
Yeah.
That I was like, I guess this is just the general opinion of everybody. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you feel that way or no?
I feel like I started to notice it more because I think I was taking AP government at the time. So I remember we had to watch like all the political stuff. Like I remember we had to watch the inauguration of Trump, his first term. But I feel like I started noticing it because, you know, AP Gov kind of makes you like email your councilman, do this, check out these type of government sites. Yeah. And then like, so it kind of holds you to like this perspective of like, I should know these type of qualities. But when you look at it online, like a lot of people who don't know it, they're like very anti against like regular government policies.
Yeah.
So it just makes like it kind of divided me. I'm like, who should I listen to then?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's always the things where like sometimes you don't have to fully trust the government. Sometimes like you should, or like you just fall into that rabbit hole of like, where am I gonna go? Like, should I go this far right movement or like pay attention more?
I think that's interesting. At least again, this is all my perspective, so my experience isn't everybody's experience. But I think I'm happy to some degree, like now, because I think there's a lot more influencers, like Hassan, like he's probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
That people know. Where I don't know, I don't think I ever saw anybody like that as a kid. As a kid, I only ever saw like far right pipeline stuff. Yeah. And I don't know. I guess what bothers me about all that stuff is it kind of makes me like, makes you think. It makes you like kind of like, I don't know, sends chills down my spine sometimes because I'm like, oh, that was all deliberately targeted to young boys, and I fit that description. Yeah, I was a young boy around early Trump era, and their memes or whatever the fuck, it worked. Because at the time, I remember people talking about, or I think people still do it now, where they'll be like, oh, it's just a joke. Like, I'm just making a joke at somebody's expense. It's not that serious. Everybody makes jokes. But I can, if I had a nickel for every time I saw one of these people who would make jokes do this, is they would make these jokes, whether it was about trans people or whether it was about women of color or any minority group. Every now and again, they would do this thing, or I would see them come up in my feed where they would be like, you know, I joke, but there's actually a little bit of truth to that. And then they would start spewing their alt-right pipeline. But I notice it now, too, because people talk about it with Candace Owens or I forget the other guy's name, where they'll be like, be careful of when you see these people do something like, what's the word? Relatable, or they say like a joke that you think is funny, because that's how they get you. Is you have your guard down. You're like, oh, it's not that. They're not that bad. And then you get sucked into that pipeline. Or
like, oh, I finally agree with them on something.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, or they'll say, I see this comment a lot. Like, not me actually agreeing with so and so. Yeah. And then, but that's true. That's how they get you. And that's as adults. Like, I can only imagine, like, as kids, like young kids, because it does happen. Like, they are targeting kids.
And I mean, they're a little bit easier to influence. You know?
Yeah, way easier.
If like they already have something like set in stone in their head, and somebody kind of agrees, and finally they feel like kind of seen, right? Yeah. They're like, oh, like this person agrees with me, and they kind of go along with whatever they say after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty.
I mean, I
crazy.
keep saying it, but I think it's just crazy that propaganda actually works.
Yeah.
And everybody is susceptible and not immune to it.
No,
Like,
yeah.
I'm sure I've fallen for tons of propaganda that I didn't even know was propaganda. Like, what's crazy to me is, have you ever seen those videos about a small like pro-Israel like propaganda in movies,
Yeah.
where it'll be like Krav Maga or something like that?
Isn't World War Z like a whole?
Supposedly, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
Because I know that it takes place in Israel, like the ending.
It does. I've never
I
seen
think
World
so.
War Z.
Yeah, because it's like a whole big wall and stuff.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it's always been there.
Yeah, but I mean for everything too. Crazy stuff, man. They should really teach classes about like propaganda and how to. Maybe they do and they just don't.
I think they do.
Probably like
It's just
in
like
government
Government,
agencies.
right?
yeah. I think they do. Because I remember in high school learning about propaganda, but it was only mostly like the pictures or like
Yeah.
the actual like signs that
I
would be
think-
put
I
around
think
or something like that.
You know what? You're right, but I think like I guess for me, maybe as a kid, when you think of propaganda, you think of like the big scale stuff
Mm-hmm.
where you see like a super racist like caricature or poster. Like I remember seeing the Jewish propaganda ones where they would have the exaggerated features and
Yeah.
in World War II.
Yeah.
And that's was my mental picture of what
Mhm.
propaganda looked like.
Yeah.
Is it's like, oh, it's clear and it's 100%, like you know exactly what it looks like. But I think it's understated how there's tons of small little tiny things that are actually end up being
Yeah.
propaganda.
I think
that-
now it's evolved now with
Yeah.
the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was gonna say that. I was like, I think the internet has also changed the way propaganda is shown. Because before it was like people didn't have phones, so that's why it was always a picture, right? And that's kind of how we learned
It's like
it.
a poster.
It was a poster. Like for the most part, we would just see like in our history books of like,
Yeah.
oh, it was a poster, or it was like something on the news,
Sign.
the newspaper, or yeah, like a sign or something. But now it's like people make videos and like people are
Or
becoming
memes.
more like like memes and stuff like
Podcasters.
that.
Well, I guess I don't know. I could talk about it forever, but I think it's
Yeah.
so crazy because I'm like, even the smallest things where you don't realize it, but like, because I've seen memes that highlight the propaganda where they'll be like, me when I ask the you can joke about anything, motherfucker. Why they only ever joke about women and minorities, and it's them being like,
I always take those with a grain of salt because I'm
Yeah.
like it's making fun of it, but I'm like, what if it is like itself?
right.
Like propaganda is like a meme that memes nowadays are
No,
propaganda.
I get what you
themselves.
mean. There's always like a land. I feel like it's always like kind of like a landmine of when it comes to memes of being
Yeah.
like, is this fucking propaganda that I'm looking at?
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I think it's interesting because you say you don't get that. It must be like a boy
a boy thing.
or a men
Yeah,
a cis straight male thing that
yeah.
that they funnel it to.
Yeah, I feel like the other thing of what you guys are saying, like the memes, because sometimes I'll see that meme of like it's like a funny picture of somebody and they're like, does anybody know if we have rights today, right?
Yeah.
And it's like funny, right? But then it's also like, should we really be laughing about it? Because it's
Yeah.
like genuinely
You're
like
making yourself aware from the
like-
picture. It's telling you.
yeah, like because at the same time it's
I
like,
get what
no,
you
yeah,
mean.
like I'm genuinely fighting for my rights right now.
I get what you
Like
mean.
I'm trying to be funny, but at the same time it's not a joke, you know? And I feel like those are like more of like an internal conflict of like,
Yeah.
should I be joking about this or because like I'll save them and sometimes I'll be like, I want to share it because I do think it's funny, but at the same time I'm like, it should also be taken serious, right? And I feel like that's what I see. Like those
Yeah.
are the memes that I see of like people joking in sort of that sense of like,
Mm.
is it a good like meme to like joke about?
Would you say it kind of reminds you of, remember when we talked about how when people went to protest they had like the joking
Mhm.
signs
Yeah.
where it's like, I don't know that this is
Yeah,
appropriate.
but I also feel like sometimes I see it as cope, you know, like
Yeah, that's
trying to be like positive in a negative situation.
true. Yeah.
and because I feel like a lot of us kind of cope in like being like funny or like trying to find something funny or humor
Yeah.
in like dark areas, right? And that's why to me, like that's my conflict with it of like, I get it,
Right.
but it's also serious, right?
Right.
It's also meant to be taken serious, like
Right.
especially at the protest, right? We're protesting for, our rights for people to be here, and we want people to take that serious, right? We don't want people to see it as immature.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're also coping ourselves of trying to, fight for these things, right? And I think that's why, like, I guess that's my own internal, like, conflict with it of, like, because, like, yeah, people talk about the past, right? You never saw a poster that said that, right, in the past. Who knows? Probably, but we never saw it. Like, it was never something, like, shown to us. But it's hard because it generally is, like, it's hard to just joke about it when it's something that's meant to be taken serious.
Yeah. No, I get what you, I get. Oh, were you gonna say something?
I think that's a good way to put it. As propaganda, it's supposed to be something that's you're supposed to question it. Like, and like these times, I'm like, oh, some humor out of this. I think it's supposed to make you stop and think.
Yeah.
Like, should I really be like laughing about it, or should I actually like? Something needs to happen. So I think years from now, I can see like people our age becoming professors and be like, this was our form of propaganda. Like,
yeah,
it's like I definitely see it being talked about politically and like being explained. I see a bunch of whole papers being made.
Actually, about it. That's a fantastic mini segue. Is I really do think there should be like, maybe there is, and I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But a big discussion or a big, I don't know what you call it, like compilation of what how memes and how the internet can twist propaganda. Because what recently happened was the White House posted a meme.
Oh yeah.
The Pokemon, gotta catch them all, of them deporting immigrants.
Of them.
And that's exactly the kind of stuff that I would see as a 15-year-old. But it wasn't the White House posting it. It was just supposedly some random. But I think that's an incredibly haunting and insane, like, show of scale of how that evolved. Of it started out as this one little joke, and now the president's posting it.
Yeah,
isn't that fucking insane. That you're 100% right.
Yeah,
that this is what our propaganda looks like.
Yeah,
like they're starting to use like AI and stuff, like to create fake, like not fake scenarios, but like it should look like this.
Well, I think also too, it's like. With the first of all, like, I mean, if you can't tell already, fuck the White House for posting that. It's unbelievably.
That's so horrible.
It's so horrible and insensitive.
They got in trouble for it. I think Nintendo's like.
Oh, Nintendo's gonna sue the shit out of it. Nintendo's fucking crazy, bro. They got the black bands.
Yeah.
But I think that it's also an example of what that kind of stuff looks like. Is because I mean, obviously, if you're already following the White House or following Trump. I'm already like, well, you probably have some sympathies for him. Yeah. So the comments were very positive, talking about how funny it was. And I had seen people like respond or say that they did find it funny. But that's the kind of thing, right? Is like, I don't know, like, yeah, you find it funny, but this is not only is this not some random, this is a real thing that's happening right now. This isn't like some made up thing that they're joking about a concept. They're joking about something that they're actually doing.
Yeah, it's literally like pointing a laugh, like, haha, take away like the minorities.
Well, I think it's also a subtle. I mean, I think for us it isn't subtle.
Yeah.
Because we're children of immigrants. We know people who are undocumented or who have had to go through that process. So for us, it's extremely obvious, right? Yeah. But for them, or like for people who are outside, to them, it's like it's such a dehumanizing tactic, you know. They're not people. It's just they're part of a meme. They're like Pokemon. It's just funny. Like they don't give you don't have to care. You can just laugh.
They're these characters.
Like this is so funny what we're doing. Yeah. Like what we're doing is actually a hilarious joke. Everybody laugh. It's not serious.
Yeah.
But then like you read about stuff where there's 1,200 missing detainees from
Alcatraz.
Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah. It's 1,800.
1,800. See, I like. I don't know, like that's such a twisted reality.
Oh, and the kids being sent back to like Guatemala, and like the kids themselves.
But then that's even another thing that people don't talk about is when you get deported or that process of getting deported, It's not like I think I don't know if people have painted this image, but you don't get sent back to where you're from.
Yeah.
Like you can be from Mexico is a huge country. Like you know, like just because they send you back to Mexico doesn't mean you go back to your home like Puebla or city.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck knows where they're gonna drop you off? And they drop you off with what? With what money? With like what resources to get to where you're going?
Yeah.
And then even then, it's people who've honestly never been there, or who have been here longer than they can even remember that area. So I don't know. They've painted this like fantasy about like what deportation looks like.
Yeah.
Like, cause like think about it. If it was the way around, like let's say I was in I don't know fucking France, and they deported me to the United States, and they dropped me off in fucking Kansas. I don't know how the fuck I'd get back to here.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. Wouldn't have any money on me. I wouldn't know the roads. I wouldn't know.
It's even more dangerous that way now too.
Yeah.
Like anybody can be like where you from? Like you're in the wrong part of town. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or it's like, what am I gonna do? Hitchhike all the way from fucking Kansas to Los Angeles?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's something that people don't ever.
With no money.
And then let's say I'm getting
No
deported from France.
direction.
I don't speak English. I speak only French. You know what I mean? Some people who get deported actually only speak English.
Yeah.
You know that like there's these small little like what do you call it? I don't know. There's so much nuance to it that people tend to forget or tend to try to deliberately erase. I don't know. That fucking Pokemon shit really pissed me off.
That shit was insane.
Yeah.
Cause I saw somebody share it, and I thought it was like another one of like it was made by nobody.
And then they just pretended
then
like
and then I clicked on it and I saw that it was made from the White House. Well, the White House was the one who posted it.
Yeah.
And I think it's also insane that I think the cover of it, or people were showing where it shows like people who they've detained, and it's like them in Pokemon cards too. I don't know. I just think it's so insane of people to think like it's funny or it's just a joke kind of thing, but it's like it's serious. Like people are genuinely being taken like
and go missing.
And now they're going missing. People have died.
Yeah.
Like people are dying.
How many have died this year?
I think 19.
Yeah, in ICE custody, right?
Yeah. I think there's been
Officially.
officially. Yeah. There's been 19. And I don't know. I just think it's like, I don't know. I feel like I don't get how people can still be like, oh, it's just a joke, when it's like it's not.
I think
like it's not something to joke about.
like
it's not something to make lightly of through like a cartoon, like, or an animation. Like it's just like these are real people. Like they're humans, they're human beings, and they're very much being dehumanized, being played as like they're Pokemon. They're these characters. They're these things that like you, I guess, catch, right? I just think that's so insane, and like how people don't see how horrific that is.
Yeah, it's extremely dehumanizing.
Yeah,
because I think to like, I mean, I don't know much about Pokemon, but I think to like compare them to this like animated, like, because what Pokemon means pocket monster, right?
Yeah.
To compare them to that, it's like, because in a way you're comparing them to animals.
I think the way they're comparing is they're just the saying itself, like gotta catch them all.
Yeah, like it's like because it's like you're not referring to people, you're referring to like, I get in the meme that they made, you're referring to pocket monsters, right? And I think that's really crazy.
Yeah,
because I think too, like I said, it hauntingly illustrates how stuff like that, where will be shown to teenagers and will be like written off as like, oh, this is just some stupid teenager joke, evolves and grows into like, no, this is the official White House and President Trump posting that, and using it as a method of propaganda. Because I can only imagine the amount of people who have genuinely thought that was funny, shared that to their friends and family, and that's now their attitude towards immigration or Trump's immigration policies or what ICE is doing. Because they don't ever show, like I said, we've talked about it before. I was there at the protests and seeing like all the upfront, the ICE agents and all the people, how they were treating the protesters. They never put that on the news. They always put in that it turned violent and stuff. But I think it also angers me because it's like, now that is the narrative they're showing. They're not showing all the suffering, all the community building, all the struggle that's been happening currently.
Mhm.
They're making it like, it's just funny, man. Because now I also think too, I'm like, there's probably people who are probably, you could maybe have gotten on your side or have been like, don't you think that like what Trump is doing is wrong? Don't you think that the ICE raids are wrong?
Mhm.
But now they probably have that stupid mentality of like, I saw that, we got to catch them all, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Mhm.
But I think you hit the nail on the head. And this is our modern day propaganda.
Very wicked.
Yeah.
Very wicked.
They used the memes against us.
I know.
Gotta fight fire with fire. Create memes. So.
I guess
Really?
gotta relate, right? Because I
Yeah.
guess in our generation, memes are like a
I get-
huge thing.
I guess I could see it.
It kind of just developed into, or I don't know. It's always been maybe.
Because
That
I
was
mean,
just
I
been
guess
a
I could see the
thing.
evolution. Because like in the 50s or 60s, they had those political cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
The famous one where it's like of Martin Luther King being like, I'm gonna lead another nonviolent protest, and it's like this animated dude going like awooga,
Yeah, yeah,
and he's like,
yeah.
So I see the track record.
Mhm.
But I think also on that note of strange propaganda, did you guys see that Tylenol thing that RFK Jr. Made an announcement on alongside President Trump?
So I didn't see it, but I've heard people talk about the whole Tylenol thing.
Yeah. So I heard about it before they announced it. I saw people saying that was gonna be the announcement. So I don't know if they had this planned for a long time, but I also didn't see it, so I don't know why am I gonna tune into that.
Yeah.
But I also only seen the discourse where essentially Trump and RFK Jr. they said that according to their research, Tylenol during pregnancy has been the cause of increased autism in their
Kids.
findings.
Yeah.
Which obviously is a fucking lie.
Yeah.
For the first one being that I think what they use is because I think there's like a measurement of autism, quote unquote, increasing, that you see like the rates of autism like showing up. But people talk about how like that has nothing to do, like that's not correlated.
Yeah.
Like people aren't getting more autism. It's just there's better screenings. Like we understand autism a little bit more. There's better testing. So it isn't like this like, oh, something's happening that's like causing autism. It's just
We're just being able
we're
to
learning about
discover
it more.
Yeah.
And they one of the things that people bring up all the time to kind of like explain how that works is for a long time it was very stigmatized to use your left hand to write. But then as that died off, you saw the increase of people writing with their left hand. But it was never because like just suddenly we're creating left-handed people. They're always left-handed people. It's just more understanding or more whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what happens with autism too. Is I hope there's a bit of a more understanding environment
Yeah.
for it. And I do think that there's probably better screenings than we've ever had. But to say that Tylenol is the reason is insane to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
People
like,
were.
sorry. I feel like just Tylenol. I mean, not Tylenol, but like autism is like not caused by those medicines. But I feel like it could be some food that we eat nowadays, like because it's everything processed and like microplastics and all that. I feel like that could be some tie with
You
like,
think so?
because like I know back then like people had like lead poisoning because like lead pipes and all that stuff.
You know what I do find strange though, is that I find the way that they talk about autism really weird. Like
That's very negative.
they talk about it like it's this disease,
Yeah.
like a terminal illness, or like something that like I don't know, something other than what it is. Like, because I remember earlier in the year, I think it was this year, Trump did something differently, or maybe it was RFK. I don't remember which one of them said it, but they were saying that people with autism don't pay taxes or don't do anything. They don't live.
That's
Yeah.
RFK.
They don't live meaningful lives or something
Yeah.
like that. Basically implying that autism completely ruins your life. But that's not fucking true.
Nah.
Like I'm not like don't get me wrong. Like I understand that it can be extremely challenging,
Yeah.
especially with there are people who aren't understanding, but there are tons of people who have autism who go on to lead extremely fulfilling and exceptional lives. It's not like this disease.
have made like huge accomplishments in the
Yeah,
world.
and I think that's strange because I feel like the way that they're talking about autism is like, I don't know, like it sits really funny with me.
He wanted to put them in camps, like not rehabilitation camps, yeah, but like conversion camps.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
for people with
crazy.
autism.
Because I think to me, I'm like, you're talking about it in a way that it isn't what it is. You know, it's something. It's mental. It's something you're challenged with mentally. But they talk about it like this,
like
physical
it's like
ailment.
Yeah,
you know.
I feel like they talk about it like it's like they have like a defect in their body or the way that they look.
Or there's something innately wrong with you, like unbelievably wrong with you, which I don't understand what that's about.
Yeah.
I also, another thing that I found strange is why they name drop Tylenol. I mean, I'm not a Tylenol defender. I don't know what they
I wouldn't
do.
be surprised
Yeah.
if like
But
Advil like pays Trump and stuff.
You think so?
I feel like
Because someone brought up this point, like, why didn't they say acetaminophen,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is essentially generic Tylenol?
It's-
Like,
yeah,
that's
it's
the
literally the same
ingredient.
thing,
It's the same thing.
Pe-
So why everyone was
Uh-huh.
like, why didn't he say like acetaminophen or the actual name of it? Because there's other companies that make Tylenol, quote
Yeah.
unquote. It's just you're talking about the brand.
I
Yeah.
think just because it's too sciencey of a name for people
I
to be
think
like, oh,
people-
that's what it is.
People were saying that it's because they don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I personally felt it was a little bit more. I'm sure that's true, but I also think it's very like. It was already suspicious, but it makes me even more suspicious because I'm like, name dropping the brand is kind of weird. I feel like, do you guys have something against
That
the brand
Yeah.
or like that company,
Mm.
or do you have something with? And like you said, like obviously, I don't know if this is true, but like, does Advil pay your fucking
Bills.
your bills or
stuff,
something? Is that why you're doing this?
lobbying and shit.
Yeah, that's what made me. That's how I took that.
Or Tylenol does, and they're doing like the
Yeah.
reverse of like.
Because I'm like, when did this all start? What did, like, or who owns Tylenol? Is Tylenol like the big thing?
I think it's what I read. It's part of Johnson and Johnson, like a little.
Because I
Okay.
remember briefly seeing that their beef with Tylenol started during the vaccines.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I think you're right, Johnson and Johnson owns them,
Yeah.
and I think Johnson and Johnson did something to piss off Trump with the vaccines.
I think they were just anti like their policies and stuff.
Oh,
I heard it somewhere, but I'm just trying to find it like officially.
Yeah, I just think it's all like linked to how they're in this thing of like they're trying to fight people from getting autism, I guess. And they've always been like, don't get the vaccine, like don't get these things. But you said, what is it? And
acetaminophen.
acetaminophen. I had seen that. So that was the first thing that I saw
Yeah.
of people posting of how acetaminophen, if you take it during when you're like pregnant, it's not linked to kids getting autism. I had seen that first. And then eventually I saw that it developed into like people saying, oh no, it's Tylenol or whatever. I mean, it's the chemical that's in Tylenol.
Yeah.
But then eventually it became that people were like, oh, if you take Tylenol or whatever. But I didn't know it was because they said it specifically.
Yeah, I mean, again though, like I think that's always been weird to me because I like you said, I had always heard even before Trump that the reason people are anti-vaccine is because they think it causes autism, which there's no scientific evidence to back that up.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think there was only one paper ever suggested that it did, that was extremely debunked or whatever the fuck. But that was the basis of that whole thing.
I'm looking at the White House like website right now, and one of the links for like their sources takes me to X.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah, it's this one. Isn't that weird? It takes you to X instead of like an
Yeah.
official government like.
Yeah, that's really weird. But like I said, I think
I'm gonna Google it.
I think it's so strange that they have this like strange beef with autism. I didn't have time to look into it completely, but people were talking about how their what would you call it? The way that they interact with autism is a form of eugenics.
Mm-hmm.
And do you guys know in what way?
I think because people were saying that too.
Yeah.
I had only seen that, but I don't know if it's more of just a thing of like being not pure, but being like, what would be the word?
Is it in the form that it's affecting like minority groups more than like
Oh, here it
or
is.
like
I think
poor
I guess.
communities?
Well, here's what. Again, I just looked this up. Being anti-autism is seen as a form of eugenics because it promotes the idea that autistic people are a biological defect that should be prevented or eliminated. This perspective is rooted in ableism, the discrimination against disabled people, and opposes the neurodiversity movement's view of autism as a natural variation of the human brain.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, extremely well said. Way
Mhm.
better than I could have ever fucking put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate that they talk about it like it's just some defect
Mm-hmm.
or like that they shouldn't exist or they should be eradicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've had Dominic and Ryan come on here and talk about their experience with autism. And I don't know if I'm sure other people have met other people with autism. I don't know why they're painting them as these like undesirable members of society. That's so strange.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
really see it as like they see them as like they have this defect and like they're this like horrible like looking human being, which I guess is really insane to like think about of like in that term of like what you read right now of like they want to eliminate them, right? I don't know. It's just so horrific.
Also, too, I saw another video talking about how what's also idiotic about all this is autism is a spectrum, which means a lot of people fall under that. You know what I mean? They talk about it like it's this epidemic in this small like group of people, but a lot of people would probably fall on the autism spectrum, you know? And I like what the article that I read said, that it's like it's mostly just a variation, a natural variation of how the human brain works.
Yeah.
Because I guess the way I see it too is like I said, I don't ever want to invalidate anybody's experience, because I'm sure having autism can be difficult and challenging at times
Yeah.
in certain aspects of life. But I think also a lot of those challenges stem from society itself. Like if society was more accepting, more willing to accommodate people who are neurodivergent,
Yeah.
I can imagine a lot of these issues would be alleviated,
Yeah.
you know? But I think instead of looking at a society or the government looking at itself and saying, we're the problem, no, you're the problem because you don't fit in,
Yeah.
you know? Which I
Yeah.
think is really fucked.
Yeah. I think it's also in what you said too, is that science is discovering or being able to kind of do more research on autism. And I think them also saying and speaking so negatively about people with autism that it makes them even more not want to talk about it
Yeah.
or like show it, right?
Yeah.
And which causes like that thing of like, then we can't really research on it, or I guess it's declining, but it's more of people not wanting to talk about it because
Yeah.
now they're being targeted, right?
Yeah.
And I think it goes into that of like, then even more like people
Yeah.
won't, I guess, take it as serious
Yeah.
of like, this is something that happens, or like people won't understand that there's a whole spectrum of it, right?
Yeah.
There's people who it does severely affect them in their daily lives. And then there's people who can, go on with their lives.
Yeah.
And I think even more, it just causes like this circle of effect, right? Of like, we do research on it, but then people say, or like the president, right? Like the highest people say like, oh no, it's bad, it's this thing. And then it goes back into like, well, I just won't talk about it. Like
Yeah.
I won't tell people like anything about it. And it goes back into like this hiding of like, and then people don't want to, research it or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think it makes it a dangerous and I think understandably scary situation. Because you're right. Like if you're somebody who has autism, that kind of rhetoric, it would make me scared.
Yeah.
Like to be like, damn, they're talking about me like I'm some fucking scourge to humanity. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I don't want to participate in certain things.
Or like even accepting it, right? Like if say you go on with your life, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, I guess me, like I go on, I don't really go to the doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
And then eventually I get, I guess, diagnosed or however it is that it goes, right? But then I've always heard in my life that it's a bad thing, right? To have that it's seen in such this negative light. And I'm kind of like, no, I don't have that. Like, that's not true. And I don't try to like, take whatever I need for it or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
I also don't know like that much, but I'm just saying like in that sense, right?
Yeah.
And so then I just go on not talking about it, not wanting to get, you know,
Yeah.
my proper diagnosis on it, and I kind of just leave it, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's like I'm sure that there's people who are like that who are sometimes afraid to even just accept it themselves, right? I
Yeah.
don't want to accept it, right? In the end, I'm like, no, it's not real, it's not true. Like, I'm not that person, but it's because I've seen it in such a negative light.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like it's the president talking about it and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Because I think too, like, I guess, like I don't, to my knowledge, I don't have autism, right? Or but there are other things in life that I can relate to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even how I've experienced with other people, like whether it's challenges with your mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think mental health challenges or mental health issues are natural. It's
Yeah.
gonna happen. It's part of the human brain. And there's a lot of, at least in my personal experience, where I'm like, I don't think there's, again, I think it's a challenge, but there isn't anything wrong with you.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, I also think, like, let's say a general example. Like, let's say you have a severe anxiety disorder
Mm-hmm.
or a severe OCD or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if you're having struggles with like work or school, I feel like, to me, the way I take it is, I'm like, I feel like it's too often painted that the person themselves is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you don't fit in. But to me, the way I see it is like, no, the system doesn't want to accommodate you. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, people with OCD or extreme anxiety disorders don't have struggles. Of course they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think a lot of the struggle comes from people not wanting to accommodate them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have a severe anxiety disorder and they're like, God damn, like I fucking need time from work. Like, I need a break.
Yeah.
Some people can't take that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but there's nothing wrong with them. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, but the system doesn't want to accommodate you. They're not going to want to pay you. And some people who, or even like, take it if you're a woman or a person of color, there's systems that just don't want to even remotely consider
Mm-hmm.
like accommodating you.
Yeah.
But instead, they start to paint you as the problem. Like, you're wrong because you can't figure it out, and
You can't handle your stress.
yeah, you can't adapt to us.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of what the general, in my opinion, common sense thing is like, well, no, you're not fucking doing anything to help the person.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like it's like in a lot of reasons, like even others, even if it's not mental health, like menstrual cycles, right?
Mm-hmm.
A woman isn't the problem because she's dealing with extreme menstrual pain. It's the society around her that doesn't want to help her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I'm sure there's times at work where you're like, fuck, man, I don't want to go into work today. Like, I fucking can't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm walking in agony right now.
Mm-hmm.
But what? The job's going to be like, okay, who
Yeah.
gives a fuck? Like,
Yeah.
manage your pain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
You're
my
the
arm
problem.
hurts
I
sometimes.
guess you're just not a hard worker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My arm hurts and I still show up to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm getting at with the autism thing is like, I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, I think it's common sense to say that there's nothing wrong with them,
Yeah.
but society's just never gonna bend to them
Yeah.
or even consider that. Oh, maybe we should be a little bit more accommodating.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know. Like, that's why I hate how they talk about it. How that it's like it's this disease to be eradicated. Like, no, the simple problem is, why don't you do things in government that gives them a break or
Yeah.
helps them out? I mean, that's your fucking job, is it not? You know, because I also think about, or my heart goes out to people who struggle with mental health, who like have a difficult time with work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not because there's nothing wrong with you. You're not different.
Yeah.
Just like, that's just more challenging for you.
Yeah.
Cause like, I don't know, like I think like, cause I remember too, like I remember when I broke my finger, like I broke my right finger, I couldn't like write properly. But the teachers were kind enough to where if I had homework, they would make it like circles or bubbles where I can just circle it or bubble it.
Yeah.
And then to me, like, maybe this is not a one-to-one comparison,
Yeah.
but there wasn't anything wrong with me. My just finger didn't work.
Yeah.
So they accommodated me, you know? And I think that's something that the government, that job sites, whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
should take into consideration more, you know?
Yeah. It just sucks that it becomes very much attack instead of lending like a helping hand to them.
Yeah.
It's instead of like judging them and saying like there's something wrong with them, instead of like actually figuring out like how we can help them.
Yeah, because I'm like, I think that also pisses me off too with these people, or with Trump and RFK Jr. with autism, is they try to like paint themselves as these people who care deeply about you, or I care so much about the the autism community, and I'm like, if you really cared about them, wouldn't you spend this time saying like, oh man, we should create more resources for them, we should create more access to healthcare. Because that's another thing people don't think about too, is if you're struggling with something mentally, fucking going to see a psychiatrist, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's a scary process too. Medication, all these things are scary, you know, like, and understandably so. There's stigmas, there's all these kinds of things. If they really cared, you would think that they would talk about that. Like, okay, what about the people who have autism currently then?
Yeah.
If you really care, why not make more accessible healthcare or free healthcare or something like that?
Yeah.
But instead they're talking about them like, we got to make sure our autism levels are 0. You know? The fuck?
And it's just funny because I was looking through like the Project 2025 and how it impact like disabled people and mental health, and they're like, oh, we're just cutting off all services.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
It's kind of dumb.
Because I'm like, also too, another thing, I don't know if it was, I think it was Ryan who talked about it with us, is that people with autism are more likely to identify as non-binary or be in that category, you know? And I'm like, this is the same administration that cut off the suicide hotline for the trans community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you said, I think it's all interconnected. So I'm like, why are you guys pretending like you care?
Like it's all part of eugenics. Like they're just trying to get rid of.
Yeah. And
that's why they're cutting everything off.
Yeah, but that's annoying. Fuck those guys, man.
Yeah. It's just so horrific, honestly. That's all I can think of like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. There's just also something so strange about it, of like, they want to seem like these type of people who care, but they generally don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Cause the whole thing of like, oh, how they want to exterminate, right, these people. But yet they fight for like to go against abortion.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like they want to paint this picture of like they're these caring people that but in reality I don't know. It's just like there's something there that is just so like, I don't know. I don't even know how to like describe it.
That's why I felt the whole like them name dropping Tylenol thing was like, oh, so this is like a paid thing then. Like again, maybe it isn't fucking Advil, but maybe it's some fucking other conglomerate that's like
paying them
to say fuck Tylenol, you know? Because again, if they genuinely cared, I'd be like, well then where's all the resources? Where's all the resources for, like, if you care about children with autism even, like how are you helping families who can't afford to always get them the health care that they might need or the help that they might need? Or schools, like how are you helping schools that have students who are on the spectrum who might need a little extra help and attention, or certain curriculum adjustments? You know, how are you helping that? But they don't. Like, you know, it's
if you guys are saying I shouldn't use Tylenol, then what should I use? What research did you make in order for me to be safer?
That drug, I don't even know how to say
acetaminophen.
Yeah, it's almost in everything. It's like in Alka-Seltzer Plus, Dayquil, NyQuil, Mucinex, Robitussin.
That's a painkiller.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a painkiller and fever reducer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird.
That's probably why they didn't name drop it then, because it is in fucking everything. And they probably have people who are paying them who are like
talk shit about Tylenol.
Yeah, like how you said it's an Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Yeah, one of the companies is paying them. And it's like, you can't say that, or else we can't sell our stuff anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So they probably chose the one that's like not like joining them.
Yeah, not for them or whatever.
I don't know if I'm grasping at straws here, but I also found it weird that it's like, it kind of also felt like an attack on pregnant women a little bit to me, where I'm like, oh, they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
When I'm like, I mean, pregnancy seems like a very painful and uncomfortable process.
Yeah.
Like, why are you, like, I don't know. I found it kind of weird that they're like, pregnant women, da 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 da. You know, because I remember reading that when it comes to pregnancy, the health and wellness of the man, the man or the male counterpart, is just as important as the woman's.
Yeah.
Like when you're conceiving. So I found it kind of strange that I'm like, really, you like you're just gonna paint this as like a pregnant woman issue, like they did this. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, yeah. I also had heard about that. The way I saw it is again just like attack, I guess, on women of like, oh, they're being bad mothers. Of like, oh, they're taking drugs right during pregnancy. And also it's like what goes on in the woman's body is also like the man's responsibility of how healthy he is as well when it all happens. So I think, for sure, I think that was the other upsetting part, is that they're kind of being like, oh, it's the woman's fault. She's not being safe when she's pregnant, and like it's causing like all these things when their kid is born. Which is again really sad and upsetting and horrific, of like another attack of I guess women not being safe during pregnancy.
Also, again, like you said, what's the solution?
But also, because I was also like, so then you just want the women to kind of suffer during pregnancy if they have a headache or they're feeling some sort of pain. Yeah, because like you just want them to suffer then. Yeah,
because like I guess because we've been talking about propaganda, this whole thing. To me, it feels like this also layered thing of like of trying to, because I mean it's been an issue where doctors don't tend to take women anywhere near as seriously as men when they complain about like a pain or something like that. It feels like a layered issue of that, where it's like, so what are the women supposed to do? Because like I've seen videos on TikTok about pregnancy, and that shit looks like a fucking nightmare, dude. Super painful. So what are they gonna do? Just nothing.
That's why I'm like, that was the other part that was super upsetting. Is just like, then what do you want them to take? Like, I just feel like they already go through enough of carrying a child, and I think they go through different scrutinies and like pains, and you're saying that they can't take this because according to you it causes autism, too. So then what do they do? What do you want them to do?
I think it also probably created a stigma where it's like, I'm sure women who are pregnant are now gonna feel like uncomfortable, where it's like they don't probably want to be seen taking Tylenol, because I'm sure there's probably gonna be ignorant people who will be like, what are you doing? Like da 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 da, or trying to tell them what to do. And I feel like I'm sure it added another stigma to that process, which is probably why I'm like, man, fuck this guy. It's just extremely upsetting that it's like, then what's your solution? I literally was like, then what's your solution? What am I supposed to take? Tell me. What all this research that you did about how Tylenol causes autism, then what's your other research that you discovered of what I should take? I wouldn't be surprised if RFK has an investment in some sort of natural supplement company.
I mean, a lot of his like cabinet has like some sort of
supplement
stalkers.
Really?
Stock reserves and stuff,
Because I remember that's also apparently another alt-right pipeline, is like the whole like supplements thing of you gotta eat fucking completely natural and don't trust doctors. Eat this supplement. Da 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 da.
Really?
That apparently that's a pipeline of being like super anti-medicine so that they can sell you a supplement.
Like, do you know what kind of supplements? Like mostly like their version of herbs.
Well, because I've seen no. I think I've seen doctors address that, where it's like there's I don't know if you've seen a lot of videos online where they'll be like, a lot of times doctors will prescribe this and that, but according to research, the real issue is you're lacking vitamin E or some shit like that.
Oh, the people who do like crazy electrolyte, like the horse apples
or something like that, and they'll be like, luckily, I've created a supplement after years of research that has the amount of vitamin E that you need. You know what I mean? So if you buy this, it'll fix da 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 da.
You know what? That does make sense.
Yeah,
I feel like.
And so it's kind of like this: you're shit talking the medical world and science so that you sell your product, and that apparently that can be an alt-right pipeline as well.
It sounds like an alt-right pipeline.
Yeah. Also, I was watching this video about how there's alt-right pipelines in almost everything.
Really?
Like in almost every like thing that you do or like tend to like, there you can find a subsection that becomes an alt-right pipeline.
Well, I feel like at this point, because everything's political, so
Yeah.
they have to find like a nook and cranny.
Well,
to,
I
like,
see it
twist your words.
in like the lifting community.
Oh yeah, it's heavily in the lifting
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. Right? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen the thing that you're talking about of there's an alt-right to everything. I have seen it for the
Lifting.
the gym community, yeah.
Because I think in some things it's super obvious, like the super red-pilled like man stuff. At first it's like, no, I'm just trying to better myself.
Yeah.
That's
But
the excuse.
yeah, but then it becomes like this alt-right
This
pipeline.
manly guy.
Yeah.
You have to be the manliest of the man.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Why were you like scared? Were you like, oh shit, I bought a supplement?
No, I don't
He
do it.
fell
Like,
into it.
no.
What would be another one?
Another
know?
alt-right pipeline?
Yeah. Do you know
Um,
another one that like
I mean, it's kind of part of it, but like sometimes that philosophy bro stuff where they'll be like, I'm a stoic. I'm all stoicism.
Stoicism.
Where it's like people who talk about certain philosophies that
Like just let suffering go to you.
make you like I don't know, more of a man. Like I think on a surface level you think it's philosophy. How can that be like an alt-right pipeline? But I think some of these people either don't understand the philosophy that they claim they're practicing,
yeah.
and then they turn that into like a pipeline.
People, that reminds you, and I might be completely wrong of what I've heard, but people have been saying that, you know how women right now are strongly like hate men, hate the patriarchy and stuff like that. People are saying that that's going to slowly fall into the alt-right for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen it. I mean, I don't know if this is true because I'm not going to sit here and like shit talk and tell women what to do. But it was that one of like a man should pay for everything for me. That in some ways that can be an alt-right pipeline because they're trying to instill this like I'm to be taken care of. I'm the woman of the house. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. He pays for everything. That in some ways that can be an
I feel
alt-right
like they
pipeline.
both coincide. Cause
Yeah.
It's like we got a lot of feminism who just don't want to be part of like I hate men and stuff, and then kind of like the other side.
I personally don't think the I hate men one is an alt-right pipeline. I think sometimes people will try to hijack that and be like, you get what I mean? Like be like, oh, you're just being an asshole, like you're being an alt-right pipeline.
Yeah.
But I did see the one about talking about men paying for everything and women pay for nothing.
Yeah.
Because I saw someone say it's like, well, it can be you're spreading stuff that's telling you to be overly reliant on just a man.
Yeah.
And I can see how that could be a
Yeah.
alt-right pipeline.
No, yeah, I could
Yeah.
see that because then it becomes like the trad wife.
Yeah.
Like that's the alt-right pipeline, right? That's being fed a lot. Is like, oh yeah, you should be the housewife. Like you should be taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
You don't need to get education. Like your man should be the one maintaining all the finances, working, all that stuff. I've seen that, but I think people were saying, and like back to the women hating men or like patriarchy, like going against that. People have said that can never get to that level because we live in a very patriarchal society, and women will never be, I guess, like at the top of in that sense, right? It's kind of like white supremacy, right? Like when people are like, oh, like you're being reverse racism, like it can never be that way because society has always been for the white man or for white people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so in the same way of men versus women and women trying to fight against the patriarchy and saying like, oh, they hate men and all these things, that can never turn into, I guess, the alt-right because we're still at a bottom level that still needs to, I guess, kind of in a way rise up, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I saw it, but I just thought it was an interesting thing that people are starting to argue about of like, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, if you are this person who says, I hate all men, you're becoming, in sort of that sense, the alt-right.
Isn't that scary, though? I feel like to me that's scary because I'm like, damn, they're trying to fucking infiltrate like crazy.
I think
Like,
but I think it was interesting that they said that because at least to me, right? Because I was so confused when somebody said that.
Yeah.
I was like, how is that possible?
I don't think I've seen that, but I've seen one where people say if you're an I hate men person, you're still male centered. And I was like, I don't know.
Because it's like still, you're still like being a hater.
I like what you said, where it's like I don't think the oppressor could ever, I mean, the oppressed can ever
Be
do
the
do anything that makes them suddenly the oppressor.
yeah.
Because I'm like, I feel like it's like you said, with reverse racism, I'm like, I don't, that doesn't exist, because I'm like, white people control everything. They're the oppressor.
Yeah.
How can you then say like suddenly the minorities are going to turn around and oppress them?
Yeah.
With what power? Like,
Right.
how are they going to oppress them?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
feel like I can see the I hate men being like unintentionally being weaponized. They're like, oh, she hates me, then I'm just gonna hate them even back more.
I guess to me, when I think about that, I'm like, but I feel like, to me, I feel like you're looking for problems
Yeah.
to try and like invalidate that movement.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I feel like, generally speaking, I feel like 99% of the people who say like they hate men or they hate the patriarchy, 99.9 of them, like, I feel like they understand what they're saying.
Mhm.
And I think they're within their rights to say that. I'm sure you could look and find someone who does that and then has questionable morals.
Mhm.
But then I feel like, to me, I'm like, to use that 0.00% of the group to then say, oh, see, this is suddenly an alt-right pop line. Like, nah, I don't think that's how that works, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, I don't know. It seems like criticism where I don't think the criticism does anything.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just really weird, because going back to what you said of how some women say like, oh, you should be letting like the guy pay or whatever. It reminds me of like I think I mean, I don't want to talk about this guy anymore, but the Charlie Kirk's wife,
Yeah.
how she was like, oh, like you should be like a stay-at-home mom, but it's like, bro, you're a fucking millionaire with like a shit ton of money. I mean, she doesn't have a husband anymore, but she's a person who has a lot of richness in it. And for some reason, to me, it's always like, it's always the person, and it's always the man, or specifically it's always the woman who says like, you should let your man pay, you should let your man do this, when they're privileged enough to actually have that life.
Yeah.
When they already have their own education, when they
Yeah.
already went to college and they graduated,
Yeah.
and they're with, and they inherited all this like
Yeah.
inheritance. Because it also reminds me of when Kim Kardashian was like, oh, you should get up and work, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you're a fucking billionaire. Like,
Yeah.
you're over here saying all these things when like you're privileged enough to be able to say those things and live your life and be a mother and on all these things. But there's people who can't do that. Like, there's
Yeah.
people who don't want that life.
Yeah.
Like, and it's always just so like, I don't even know what the word is. Hypocritical, I guess,
Yeah.
to be saying that when it's like, in fact, you already got your degree, like
Yeah.
you already got your education,
Yeah.
but you're over here trying to tell people like, don't go to school, like your what would you call it, your purpose of life is to be a mother or a wife, like
Well, yeah, I think
when
that,
you already have those things.
I think that's also, I mean, we keep talking about it, but I think that's an essential part of the propaganda machine.
Mhm.
Is like, because I don't know if you've seen it, where people talk about those type of dudes who will be like, you can get rich if you just grind, if you take risks, if you do that. But those type of people leave out the part that they were probably already rich,
Mhm.
so they were able to take those risks.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, the people that they're talking to are not rich,
Mhm.
and they are not able to take these risks
Yeah.
and recover. You know what I mean? And I think it's the same thing where it's like, well, Kim Kardashian, I'm like, yeah, but like, you're from a family of like millionaires, dude.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I'm sure some of the shit you do is hard, but like, you can't leave that part out
Mhm.
and then just be like, see, like, I did it. I'm like, but like, you started a little higher than everybody else, you know?
Your dad was a lawyer
Yeah.
for fucking
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson.
And then her stepdad was an Olympian.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you kind of got a little bit of a head start, man.
You forgot about that
Yeah.
part. Like, I don't know. That shit just bothers me so much, especially because right now the whole talk is about how Charlie Kirk's wife said that.
Yeah.
And people are like, bro, you have a fucking like PhD.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
women shouldn't be getting education when your ass literally has
Yeah.
degrees.
You know what's even crazier? They donated money to her after
Yeah.
his death. I think it was
It was 2 million or something.
389 million
Jesus.
for his death, and then another 13.1 million from a Texas foundation.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's I'm like, your ass has money.
Yeah.
Like, shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
that shit generally angers me, especially when it comes from women. where I'm like, shut up. Like, you literally had shit just given to you. Like, you can't be
Yeah.
saying that to other women.
Well, I think coming from from someone like that who's super rich and has all these things,
Mhm.
I'm like, it's easy for you to say because you already have it. So for
Yeah.
you to give it up
Mhm.
or to like take a step back, it's almost like you're retiring.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
because you're talking to people who don't have that, and to get that is an unbelievable process to
Yeah.
begin. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't know. I also think the whole like you should stay at home and like serve your man is trying to like tell women to give up power.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think the whole reason that's coming back is they're scared
Mhm.
about the fact that more women are in college, more women are starting their careers, and they're scared of women having that power.
Mhm.
And I think they're like, no, you should go back to the house and don't get educated. Don't learn about the
Yeah.
things that we're doing. Don't make your own money so you
Yeah.
don't need anybody.
They're like, don't you ever feel overworked? Don't you
Yeah,
just
you
ever
know?
want to stay at home?
Yeah, you know. So I could see that. I can see that being its own alt-right pipeline.
No,
But
yeah.
I think that's a good. But that's like, yeah, it exists in fucking everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shit is crazy, bro.
yeah.
It's crazy out here.
Everything's political.
Everything's
Yeah,
political.
it
Everything's
is.
propaganda.
Mhm.
But you know what? Everything's cool.
Oh.
We don't do that
I know we don't do
anymore.
that anymore. That was so freshman year. That was so last year.
That was so freshman year.
That was so last
I
year.
mean, I don't know. I think that's a good place to end off the
No,
podcast.
yeah,
We've been
yeah.
going for a while.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys have to say?
No, just stay safe, y'all. Be,
Yeah.
what is it? Conscious?
Do
Be
your daily
conscious.
prayers.
Conscious and cautious of what you do.
Yeah. Hopefully Steve gets sent back down from heaven
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah. Stay educated.
Pretty sure it
you know?
will. Stay educated.
Stay aware.
You are not immune to propaganda. Question everything, but like reasonably.
Mhm.
And then let me do a shout out to Yoel, Ila Quintero, Stephen Carvajal, Altadena Rebuild, and Diana Lara. Thank you so much for being our patrons. If anybody out there ever wants to join the Patreon, our link is always in the description. We got a hot new video in the Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all want to check that out.
I guess check it out.
But thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you for Patrick for joining us and filling in Steve's position. He'll be back next week. Don't worry. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.